pretty sure I've mentioned before, I'm a pretty streaky player. You know, my average game might be here, but sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm here. I mean, everybody's like that. Sometimes it seems to me like I'm more streaky than most. A lot of it might have to do with my lack of concentration or my million physical styles that I'm always trying and stuff like that. You know, no consistency. I've been in a slump for the last few days, and usually I don't worry about it because as quickly as I, streak off, I can streak back on, and that often happens. And so usually I just don't worry about it. Well, I didn't shoot very good today, but I'll probably be just fine tomorrow, and that's usually the case. This particular time around, it didn't fix itself as quickly as I wanted. I played at the pool hall yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. No, 2 days ago. And got beat by a guy that, honestly, I usually beat him pretty easily. And that bothered me. I told me, I need to try to get out of my slump. Usually what I do when I try to get out of my slump is I'll just start banking balls. There's a few reasons that I do that. One is that, at least the way that I bank balls, it's authoritative, it's a good, it's a good solid fundamentals and all that. Whereas sometimes playing one pocket, I might be trying to steer balls in and shit, and this often doesn't work for me. But with banks, I can just get a nice, good, solid, authoritative stroke, and that gets me back physically correct, if indeed I was off in the first place. The reason for that I've been in the slump the last few days, I think, is mostly that. I was just physically out of alignment a little bit. And of course, with me, concentration is always an issue as well, but in this particular case, I think it was physical. So one of the reasons that I would bank balls is, kind of what you just saw, is that I can miss and it doesn't bother me. Misses are part of bank pool. There are very few people that can make every bank that they shoot at, and I'm not one of those people. So it doesn't bother me too much. In fact, I started to do a spreadsheet. I probably should finish it up because it was interesting. But I have an awful lot of matches, videos of matches, like from Derby City and other bankroll tournaments. And I thought about it. Let me go through all the finals and find out, okay, John Brumback, for example, does he average a bank every inning? Does he average 3 banks every inning? Does he average a bank every 5 innings? And that's kind of the kind of thing I was doing. What I remember when I was doing that kind of stuff, I didn't get through all the matches, but what I found was, except for just a couple of outliers, Jason Miller, the people that won the banks tournaments were averaging about 1 ball every 3 innings. And best, by definition almost, the best bank pool player in the world at that particular time. They're only making a bank on average once every 3 innings. Jason Miller in 2004 or 5, whenever he won the first time around, he averaged about 4 balls for every inning. Billy Thorpe's done a pretty damn good job too. But Billy plays a lot of safeties as well that will increase the inning count. Anyway, so I'll shoot banks because it gives me the good solid fundamentals that I'm lacking at the current time, and if I miss, it doesn't bother me, because I'm supposed to miss. The best players in the world are supposed to miss at banks. Sometimes, some more often than others. So it doesn't bother me. The only time that really bothers me is when I miss shots by 800 miles. Like I missed that four-wheeler twice. But even that, okay, it's a hard shot, Silts. Don't beat yourself up over it. It doesn't bother me to miss a bank shot. But like if I miss this 10 straight in, that bothers me when I do stuff like that. And that doesn't give me... Here I'm working on my concentration, my physical stuff, and also my confidence, always working on that. But when I'm in a slump, I'm likely to miss that 10. Or have it brush the rail and then bobble and not fall. Doesn't do me any good on the confidence. But if I want to straight back this 5, and if it feels like it brushed the rail and bobble it, if that ball had sat, whoop-de-doo. Making the ball wasn't the important part of the shot. Making the good solid stroke, that was the important part of the shot, and I accomplished that. So that's usually what I do when I'm trying to get myself out of a slump. Is I stop playing one pocket for a while and start hitting banks, because I hit banks more firmly, and I have better fundamentals when I play bank pool, when I'm banking balls, than I do with anything else. With one pocket, 9-ball things, okay, you have all these different variables of speed that you have to deal with. Where with banks, I have like 2 speeds of banks. Pocket speed and then firm speed. And so that's fine. That's a pretty horrible shot right there. I don't like missing that one by that much, but hey, like I said, it's a bank. Whoop-de-doo. It's always for me been just something as well, just about banks that's cool, because I went for a hell of a long time, wouldn't bank anything. I was convinced that no, they're too hard, there's too many variables and all that. So even now, even though I've been trying to take banks seriously for 20 years, it's still cool when they go in. Because there's still that part of me that says, what a cool shot, Dave. That was a good scratch. Hey, that wasn't supposed to go in, yet it did. That's just me. Just me. Some people might get the same kind of little thrill or whatever out of combinations, tough cuts, whatever. For me, it's just always been banks, because I never did them. And now when I do, I feel like I've accomplished something. Hey, Dave, there's a ball on your way. I think it's backing my way again. Notice that damn ball? No. I wish I knew those 3 railers. I've told myself a million times I should work on those 3 railers, but I haven't. I tell myself that I should do a lot of things, and then I don't do them. For now, it's not the time to be working on 3 rails. It's just a time to just work on my concentration, my fundamentals, and all that. And that's what I'm doing right now. It's still fun for me, but losing to that guy over the weekend, that wasn't particularly fun. And it wasn't. It's a weird thing, because the guy that I played, and I don't want to knock anybody or whatever. He's definitely a friend of mine. He's been playing one pocket probably longer than I've been alive. He is a better one pocket player than I am. He knows more of the moves and strategies and things like that. and he's more disciplined than I am, usually. But what has happened many, many times in the decade that we've been playing each other is I'm a better shot maker. By quite a bit, I'm a better shot maker, I think. And a lot of times we would go and we'd match up, and he would try to keep up with my offense. He would try, to outshoot me instead of outplay me. Does that make any sense? And I feel like I said it before in video before, but when this particular player tries to outshoot me, it maybe 1 out of 100 times it might work. Usually it does not work. I can outshoot him, and I win the particular day, game, whatever. It's been the times when he tries to outplay me, out strategy, things like that. That's when he has a chance, and he has a good chance to beat me on those days. This wasn't the case over the weekend. Over the weekend, I was shooting so bad that he was able to go into Joe offense mode and outshoot me. And so now I'm going to have to deal with that for who knows how long. And I guess I'll get over it, or maybe I'll learn a valuable lesson. I don't know. Toward that ball bad. Short that ball is bad. But yeah, so that's what happened. Is it wasn't just that I got beat by a person I don't feel like I should get beaten by. It was the way it happened. The way it happened was I was shooting so bad that he didn't have to outplay me. All he could get by without shooting me. And that's what happened. And that's what irritated me. Because I actually like playing him when he's got the strategy going and all that. Because that's when I learn stuff. I learn strategy and things, mainly by playing this guy or watching videos, whatever. But I learn a lot of strategy. But just by watching what he does in certain situations. I don't learn how to make a shot because I already know how to make shots. Just some days I don't quite do it correctly. So I always want him to try to outplay me. Because those are the times when I can learn something. Usually it also means that I end up winning that particular day. But that's secondary for me. In this case, I'm doing it because I'm trying to learn. I feel like I'm yammering, but I'm allowed to. I think I mentioned this. I want to do this tip experiment and try different tips. So I put a triangle. This is on my southwest. I put a triangle on it. It's been on for a couple weeks now. Not the cause of my slump at all. And the triangle is perfectly fine. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's way better than the Ultra Skin that I had been using. It did not all of a sudden make this cue, one of my best hitting cues. That has been my hope. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's not like I'm going to go around now and put triangles on all my cues. It didn't make that much difference, so I guess what I'm getting at. I've been hopeful, but it just flat out didn't. As long as medium hard, like this, or like a used LaPro, or like those Ultra Skins, they're all fine. And like I said, they're all the same, but they're all fine. And so now I have a box of triangle tips that will probably last me for 50 years, because we all know I'll live that long. So hit it one way and then overcompensate, and we'll hit it the other way. And now this time we'll go in, right? That's the way things are supposed to happen, yeah. So miss, overcompensate, and then put it in the hard pocket. This is what's supposed to happen. I wish they would let me do that. I'll just make a prediction. If they would let me shoot 3 shots, if they let me try 3 times for all my matches at Derby City next year, if I miss, I could try again. If I miss, I could try one more time. If they let me do that through all my matches, I bet I'd win the damn tournament. They can't let anybody else do that. But if they let me do it, I bet I could win. The same thing I've always said, if they let me play all my matches down here on this table in my basement, I bet I'd do pretty darn well then. I might not win, but do pretty well. I will talk at you later.